This presentation is merely a brief overview of the topics covered in the chapter and should not be considered a substitute for reading the chapter. This chapter covers some of the benefits of owning a home, making the decision to rent or buy, how to find the best properties, and how to determine the market value of a property. While owning a home usually requires a mortgage that may seem overwhelming to repay, over time you can chip away at the principal and interest, and before you know it, you have equity built up in the home. You may even pay the mortgage off early and own your home outright. That can give you a boost toward reaching your financial goals. Owning your home may allow you to transition to part-time work or even retire a little early. Some people sell their homes and move into smaller, less expensive homes, pocketing the profit. It may also be possible to use your home to finance a small business you've always dreamed of opening, or perhaps allow you to provide some financing for your children's college education. Owning your own home may allow you to reach your financial goals a little early, and it will almost certainly give you some financial flexibility that most renters do not enjoy as they approach retirement age. Still, owning a home isn't for everyone, and renting can be a good choice for some people. Renting offers some benefits that owning does not. For example, renters can pick up and move once their lease expires. This mobility might be important during times of high unemployment that require people to move to where jobs are located. Renting can make financial sense because in some cases it might cost less than owning. This is usually true in housing markets where prices have overheated. Someone who saves money by renting can invest that savings in bonds, mutual funds, stocks, or other investments. These investments are far more liquid than homes, which is another benefit. One drawback to renting is that it doesn't fare as well as owning during periods of high inflation. When high inflation takes hold, rent usually increases a similar percentage because the landlord has the opportunity to raise the rent every year when the lease expires. With home ownership, assuming a fixed-rate mortgage, your mortgage payment does not increase, even during periods of high inflation. In fact, high inflation can make it easier to pay off your mortgage because you'll likely receive wage increases that keep up with inflation, so you'll have more money to make your mortgage payment. If you are considering buying, you will probably want to be committed to staying in your home for at least 3 years. As the author mentions, it can take around 5 years to recoup all of your transaction costs. Inspection fees, loan costs, title insurance, moving costs, and real estate commissions are expensive. In addition, you will have maintenance costs for the time you live in the home. Staying put for several years allows you to recoup these costs and hopefully build a little equity in your home. Timing the real estate market is extremely difficult. We would all like to buy when prices are at their lowest and sell when they're at their peak, but it is impossible to predict the bottom or top of the real estate market. If you're planning to move in the next few years, you'll want to carefully consider housing prices before making a purchase. If you plan to stay in the house for a long period of time, perhaps a decade or more, the current market price is less important as you have a longer period of time to ride out a downturn in the real estate market. If you are thinking of buying a home, it's a good idea to consult with lenders to determine the maximum amount you can borrow. Nearly all lenders have a pre-approval program that allows you to learn how much you can borrow. Of course, don't borrow the full amount you qualify for unless you are sure you've thought it through and can make all of your mortgage payments even if you encounter a financial setback. Instead, use the amount to help you set limits in starting your home search. Your real estate agent will want to know what price range you are looking in so that he or she can show you the right properties. Mortgage interest and property taxes are tax deductible on your federal income taxes. This should lower the amount of taxes you pay, sometimes fairly significantly. However, It is important to know that as the federal government looks to close the budget deficit and pay off some of the federal debt, these tax deductions could be eliminated. You can buy a home with a down payment of less than 20%, but if you do, your lender will likely require that you buy private mortgage insurance, or PMI. PMI protects the lender against default, which is good for the lender, but it can cost hundreds of dollars per year, which is bad for the borrower. When choosing to buy a home, most people in cities choose some type of shared housing like condominiums, townhomes, or cooperatives. One advantage of shared housing is that the owner is usually not responsible for general maintenance. The homeowners association is. This is not always true, so it pays to learn the details of such responsibilities and costs before buying. Another advantage of shared housing is that in most cases you gain more living space per dollar spent. In suburban settings, single-family homes are the most popular choice. Probably sounds like a long time, but you're making a big commitment and you want to be sure you choose the right home for you. When doing your search, be sure to consider availability of amenities such as parks. You'll also want to consider area schools, property taxes, the crime rate, whether any future developments will impact your property, and if there are any catastrophic risks such as flood, tornadoes, and earthquakes that might impact you and your home. Fortunately, your research will be fairly easy if you choose to use the internet to search for such information. Usually the asking price is not the real value of a home. Instead, it will sell for less than the asking price. However, there are times when homes sell at or even above the asking price. A good real estate agent can help you determine what a home is really worth. They can show you comparable houses that have recently sold and tell you the prices of those homes, and they can let you know if you are in a buyer's or seller's market. Ultimately, if you plan on making an offer on a home, only you can decide how much to offer, but you should probably speak with your real estate buyer's agent to help you determine a fair price for your offer. That is the end of this presentation. I hope you enjoy reading the chapter.